Thank you for joining me. Come to meet me. Let's start. Yeah, we'll start standing today. So if you're seated, get on up. We're gonna do just some posture work, and then can't think of words today. Our opening breathing, as we usually do. If you notice the name for today's class, it's Flow with Control. So I'm going to try to make it flowy, but it's going to be slow and it's going to require a lot of strength. So when we move slow, it takes the element of momentum and therefore, cheating out of it. So be ready for a challenge. But as always, you can make this class as gentle or as challenging as you want. You can always lower to your knees or modify or intensify. Take child's pose when you need breaks. And as I always say, if it feels good in your body, that usually means you're doing it right, even if it doesn't necessarily look exactly as I'm cueing for it to look. So you're always welcome to make adjustments that way. Sorry, let me just check one final thing here. There we go. Alrighty. So going through our posture first let's stand. You can have toes together with a slight gap between your heels, or if it's more comfortable, you can do feet hip distance apart. If you like to measure, take 2 fists, and they should fit between your feet. So whichever one you choose to do. We're going to do a little, actually not yet, we're going to start with our feet here. So just rock forwards and backwards. Do whatever you want with your hands. Just rock forwards and backwards to your toes. You can even come up on your toes, and then back onto your heels. We're just feeling into the feet here. Keep going forwards and backwards, just in that plane for now. And now let's move to the outward line of the foot and then to the inward line. So make it as small or as exaggerated as you want. Again, if anything feels wonky, then lessen it or omit it. Let's bring the weight into the left foot and just do some quick, not moving quickly, but we'll just do some ankle rolls here. Really try to flex through the foot and really point it. We're just reaching it as much as we can in all directions. If you need to hold on to the wall, you're always more than welcome as well. Reverse the direction. This is a really good way to build up strength in the ankles. If you're prone to rolling your ankle, simply doing ankle rolls can really help to eliminate the frequency of rolling one's ankles. Foot controlled, but really exaggerated circles. Foot. And reverse. All right, come back to toes together, heels apart, or hip distance. You can remeasure if you really like. And now we're going to do our little body scan. So let's bring the arms down, palms facing forward, starting through the feet, ground down through the feet. Really feel the soles of your feet in contact with your mat. Feel the pressure, the support of the floor beneath you. And I want you to visualize growing roots from the soles of the feet down into the ground. We're so stable and strong and secure here. Lift up your toes, spread all toes wide. Notice where your weight distribution kind of goes to. See if you can kind of get it to a neutral point. Try to keep the engagement in the bottom of the feet in the arch of the feet as we lower the toes down, starting with the baby toe, working towards the big toe. Again, pick up the toes, fan them wide. You should feel the arch engage a little bit. Try to keep that as you fan the toes down, starting from the baby toe, working to the big toe. Reground down through the feet, strong, secure. And let's move to the tops of the feet. Just bringing our awareness out to the ankles, all around the ankles. Moving up higher along the calves, the shins. Circling your awareness around the knees and noticing if you have a tendency to hyperextend, bring that micro bend into the knees. Circle your awareness, moving up from the knees along the thighs, all the way up towards the hips, circling around the pelvis. You can do some pelvic tilts here, stopping at a point of neutrality where the bowl of your pelvis is sitting upright. Slight engagement in the core as you circle your awareness around the core, moving its way up, around the chest, around the shoulders. Separate your awareness so it's coming around each arm, moving down the upper arm, towards the elbows, slowly down the forearms, the wrists, the palms, the tops of the hands, and the fingers. Bring your awareness back to the chest. Again, one of my favorite cues, proud in the chest. You can accentuate that by rolling the shoulder blades down and back the spine. So we're proud in the chest, we're lifting up. But at the same time, we're humble in the head. So chin is slightly lowered and pull it back a little bit like you're giving yourself a slight double chin just to avoid jutting out at the neck there. We're trying to stack everything in one really nice straight line. Palms still facing forward, circle your awareness up around your neck, chin, back of your skull, slowly working your way up, out through the very crown of the head. As your awareness comes out through the crown of the head, imagine it turning into that rope and someone's pulling up on it and you grow a little bit taller. So that opposing force, we're grounding down, rooting down into the mat and growing up taller out through the crown of the head. Start to slow the breath here. Implementing your Ujjayi breathing, that slight restriction in the back of the throat. Choose a drishti while you're here as well, so just pick a focal point and challenge yourself to keep your gaze there. So slight restriction in the back of the throat for your breathing. Regulating the breath, regulating the mind, while also strengthening the diaphragm. Just to work into the shoulders and the wrists a little bit. We'll just do maybe like 5 rounds of this opening breath. I've done it a few times before. If you're not familiar, feel free to watch for the first round. Let's interlock all 10 fingers. Bring the fingers in contact with the chin where they will stay for the entire duration of these breaths. We'll do counts of 5. So if you're familiar with it, join in. Again, just watch for the first round. If you're not, let's inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm just turning so that you can see what I'm doing. Exhale, drop the head back for 5, 4. Elbows touch. Lower down. Again, inhale. Drop the head back, exhale. Lower down, inhale. Push your chin into your fingers. Drop the head. Lower down, inhale. Second last one. Take as full a breath as you can. At the top, hold it and take in one more gulp. Drop the head back, exhale. At the bottom, push out even more air. Lower down, last round. Again, inhale. Deepest breath of the day. Take in even more air. Drop the head back, exhale. Completely wringing out the lungs. Lower the head, release the arms. Roll out the wrists a little bit. Again, a little slower than you want to. Roll out the shoulders. Do both at the same time, or one and then the other. Just to warm up a little bit, we are going to do 2 sun salutations a little bit quicker. And then we're going to move it into our flow with control. So come to meet me at the top of your mat. Toes touching, it's like that between your heels. Again, set up with your strong foundation, everything that we just went over. Let's inhale, the arms up, looking between the thumbs. Exhale, flat back, ripping the mat apart with your feet to engage the glutes a little bit more, holding all the way forward. Gaze is down at the feet. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms. You can just step back here. Lower to the knees if you want to make this first round gentle. Shift forward, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog if you're already feeling it. Exhale from the knees or leading with the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees. Look forward. Inhale, step to the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Arms reach up, gaze between the thumbs. Exhale, hands come through to heart center in prayer. Again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold, rip the mat apart, bring rib cage to thighs. Bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back, shift forward wherever you are. Chaturanga, inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Wherever you are here, just tuck the tailbone down, protect the lower back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Inhale, step to the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, fold forward, rib cage to thighs, start ripping the mat apart with your feet. Inhale, all the way up. Deep, deep, deep inhale. Exhale, hands come through to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back, high plank or lower to your knees, shift forward. We're going to do a push-up here where we're going to come down and then back up. So if you can lower down from high plank, but you can't get back up, then just lower to your knees once we come down. So really rounding through the upper back, we're going to lower down slowly. Come to chaturanga, hover. Again, lower to your knees if you need to, or just push back up. Getting strength in both directions here. We're going to do another round. Shift forward a bit. Slow push up, hover. Lower to your knees if you need to. Push up. Just to switch it up a little bit here. Lower to the knees. And then we're going to pull through, lowering the chest, then the chin, and then coming into just a cobra. Or using your hands and coming into a partial upward facing dog. From here, lower down until you get to a point where you can pick up your hands. Using strength here, tuck your tailbone down, squeeze your glutes, tops of the feet are in contact with the mat. Try to lift up a little bit higher. Slowly lower. From here, tuck the toes. Actually, let's try it. You can try it if it doesn't feel good on your feet, then just omit this part. But we're going to try staying on the tops of the feet while we come up into downward facing dog. So you can do this from your knees, or you can do it leading with your hips as we would from downward facing dog, or sorry, upward facing dog. So you can see I'm on the tops of my toes here. It can be kind of intense. So if you feel like you can't flip over, even one at a time, then just come out of it and then flip. Or if you are up into it, I don't flip over both at the same time, that'd be too intense. I just quickly step, and I kind of bend through this leg so that it's not too much weight supporting it. And then I come onto the other sole of the foot, downward facing dog here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, we're going to shift forward into plank. We're going to get set up for some lunges here, but again, we're going to get there slow so that there's minimal momentum. From here, bending through the right leg, bring the right knee towards your chest. Push the mat away from you. Create as much distance between your chest and the mat as possible, and see if you can step the foot through silently. If you need to use the hand, then by all means, do so. From here, we're just going to floss forward and back. around so you can see. So we're just shifting, coming up on the toe and then pushing the heel back. You feel stretch through the back of the leg when you move to the back there. And I'll move a little bit slower in this flossing movement. Bringing some weight into your hands. We're just going to hop this back foot forward a little bit. So we're still up on the back toe. And then we're just going to move between straightening this leg like a pyramid and bending it. So if your leg doesn't come totally straight, that's fine. Trying to keep the hips square though. So left hip pulling forward, right hip pulling back. Come to this pyramid. You can lower the back heel down or keep it up. Play around with different sensations. And then you can come forward, bend through the knee. Straighten the leg, bend the leg. Back to the bent knee, so we're kind of in this shortened lunge position. Walk the hands out in front of you just a little bit. Bring the weight into this front leg and come up high on this back toe. Your quad is going to burn, and then we're just lifting this foot up with control as we straighten this leg. Or if it doesn't straighten and you keep a bend, that's totally fine as well. So we're in a bit of this supported warrior three. You can walk your hands out a little bit more if you need to. Again, if this is what you look like, if you have your blocks handy, you can use your blocks right here for support as well. Keep the hips square. So the left hip is lifting up, pull it down. Reach your left toes back behind you. Reach, reach, reach. Now you can stay right here if this is challenging enough. Or you can start to engage the core and make your fingers even more weightless. So maybe you're on all 10 fingers right now. Maybe you lift up the thumbs and then the pinkies. So now we're on 3 fingers on each. You can stop at any point in this. Maybe you come to 2 fingers, maybe 1, and then maybe you can float your arms up, coming into heart center. Slowly lower the hands back down. Bend through the front right leg as we slowly step that left foot back. We're in this low lunge. Let's lower to the knee. And again, just taking little gentle flossing movements here. Coming to your depth. Lifting out of it. Coming to your depth. Lifting out of it. Bringing the torso upright, you can have the hands on the knee to help with balance. We're going to get it set up for a twist here. So you can square up a little bit more, make it more of a 90 so you're not lunging down too deep. Let's bring the hands through to heart center. Focusing your gaze, there is some balance required here. And then we're going to bring our left elbow to hook on the outside of the right knee. Once we're here, stay where you are. I'm just going to turn so you can see. Once we've got the elbow hooked, we're going to take this top mat, hold the leg in place as we kind of shift everything out of the way and try to get our armpit as close down to the knee as possible, and then bring the hands back to the heart center. Push through the hands to try to get the hands to your chest center, and you can stay right here. Bring your gaze up past the right shoulder, or if this is feeling good, you can lift the back knee. Another option, if you want a little bit more, also helps with your balance too, is you can lower the left arm and then extend the right arm up. Try to stack the wrist on top of the shoulder. And we're going to slowly unravel. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Stay where you are. I'm just coming back here. Hands are now framing this front foot. Let this front knee fall off to the right side a little bit. Push the mat away from you. Really protract through the upper back. And see if you can pick this foot up weightlessly. Bring it back behind you. Don't lower it down yet. So it's lifted. Breathe. You can lower the foot, or you can shift forward and do a 3-legged chaturanga. And then lower the foot. Inhale, cobra or up facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, shift forward, plank again. Same thing, push the mat away from you. Approach right through the shoulders, bring the left knee towards the chest. Lift everything up higher, higher, higher. Lift the knee up higher to the chest, and then see if you can step it through. Again, if you need to use a hand, that's totally fine. So we're in this low lunge, and we're just gonna floss. So again, coming forward on the toe, and then back. Forward, and then back. Really, really reach back with the heel. And then you reach forward. And again, as I like to say, you don't always have to have your palms flat on the mat. You can be on your fingertips to bring strength into the, oh, sorry. My ringer's off, I don't know why it's ringing. So you can be and you're going to build up strength in your hands. You can also come to your fists. And again, this is just ways to avoid that repetitive motion in yoga where we're frequently flat on the palms. So you are more than welcome to do any variation wherever you see fit. Shift forward and back a couple more times. And then using your hands for support, we're just going to hop this back foot in a little bit, shortening the stance, getting set up for this flossing between pyramid. So with straight legs, this heel can come down and then come forward so you bend to the front leg. Come forward, straighten the leg. Keep the hips square, so pulling the left hip back, right hip forward. Well, once you're at the top of your mat again, so you've got a slight bend in this front knee, walk your hands out in front of you a little bit. Maybe your hands are flat, maybe you're on your fingertips. But then we're going to shift forward. So I'm rolling onto the very tips of my toes to the point where my leg just lifts up. No momentum. Pick up the leg. We're in this supported warrior three. Hips are square. So if the right hip's really lifting up, square it off. Again, left standing leg, maybe bent depending on your hamstring openness. Just doing your darndest, and then reaching back out through the right toes. Now, if you want a little bit more, you can come a little bit more weightless on the fingers, maybe picking up the thumbs and the pinkies, maybe the ring fingers, maybe the middle fingers, and then maybe you float your arms up, bringing the hands through to prayer and heart center. Reach out through the crown of the head as you reach back through those back toes. You want to know in 5 minutes. Slowly lower the fingers. Bend through this left front leg as we gently reach. Lower the back knee. Keep the toes tucked. And we're just going to floss here a little bit. So you can find your depth. And then shift back a little bit. It's with you every moment. To back and forth. Letting go of your attachment to yourself. To outcomes. Letting go of the way things are. Come to a point where your front leg's kind of squared off in that 90. Gently lift yourself up. Find your balance. Find your knee on your knees to start. Then we're going to bring the hands to your heart center. We're going to set up for a twist on this side. So slowly bring your right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Once you're there, you can use this left hand to hold the left arm in place. As you shift everything out of the way, try to get the armpit close to the knee. Once you're there, bring your hands back through the heart center. Push through the palms, trying to get them to heart center. And you can stay right here. Or if you're feeling stable and secure and you want more, you can straighten through the back leg. Next option would be to lower the right arm and reach up through the left arm. Slowly unraveling. Come to frame the front foot. Put all the weight in the hands. You can grip with the fingers a little bit. Protract through the shoulder blades, surrounding through the upper back. Let this left knee fall off to the side so you have a little bit more space. Engage your core. See if you can pick up the foot. Shoot it back behind you, not lowering it yet. Try to keep it up even just for a second. You can lower it if you need to. Or if you're up for the challenge, shift forward, three-legged chaturanga. Lower the left foot down. Everyone inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find your breath. From here, walk your hands back, slowly, purposefully. You can ragdoll if you want. Just hang out in forward fold. And then we're going to walk the hands back forward, coming back. And this time to a plank. Hold it here. And then walk the hands back. Heels lower down. As we come into this forward fold. Again, bent knees can be your best friend. Walk the hands forward. Plank. One more time, walk the hands back. Let everything get heavy, give the head a little shake. And then walk the hands forward. And we're gonna lower the knees, but they're gonna hover off of the ground here. Swivel on your, I'll swivel on my left foot first so you can see better. I'm swiveling on my left foot, so the entire, I'm making an entire footprint on my mat. I'm going to extend my right bottom leg through, and then you can lower the hips down and not touching. I'm just bringing my butt closer to my left heel. Come back up, so my shoulders over my wrist. Unravel, back through to center, knees are still hovering. Swivel on the right foot. Make a footprint with your mat. Left leg comes straight through. Lower the hips back without touching. Shift forward, shoulders over wrist, come back through. We're going to do that a couple times. Moving slow. Come back through to center. Other side. Extend the leg. Lower the hips. Come back up. Unravel. One more time each side. Let's do. Leg comes through. Lower the hips. Back up. And through. Other side. Push back into downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale, bend the knees. Look forward. Inhale, hop or step, top of mat, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way apart, up. Exhale, hands come through north center. Let's do a chair pose here. So we're going to inhale, bend through the legs, sweep the fingers down just to graze the mat as you come up. Ripping the mat apart with the feet here as well. Weight is more in the heels. You should be able to see all 10 toes when you look down. Sit down a little bit deeper. Lift the chest up a little bit more. Sit down a little bit deeper still. Pull the arms back. Tuck the tailbone down a little bit, sit down a little bit deeper. And then see if you can come all the way down. Your heels may lift up at some point in time. That's fine, your hands will come down to support you. From here, we're just gonna hang out in toe stand so you can work into the feet a little bit more. You can come up higher on your toes, and then lower the heels down really actively. Maybe you come all the way down, and then come back up. Try to balance high on your toes. Your hands can be down the whole time to help support you. Maybe you don't lower your heels all the way down. Again, make it your own. We're just feeling, moving through the feet, through the ankles. Come to a stopping point and plant the palms firmly down on the mat about shoulder distance. All we're going to do here is step back into a high plank. I'll start by bringing the weight onto the right hand so that I'm not facing away. So weight is on the right hand, and I'm opening up into a side plank. Left arm extends up. A lot of ways to modify. If you want more gentle, you can lower the bottom knee. You can bring the front leg in front of you. Maybe you have a preference. Maybe you want to try both. Your feet can also be staggered if both legs are up. That'll help with your balance, or stacked. Come down, back to this high plank, and shift to the other side. We're going to build on this, so we're just kind of getting used to the side plank positioning for this round. Lift the hips up a little bit higher wherever you are. Lower back down. Lower to the knees. Shift the hips back, child's pose, just to give the arms a little bit of a break, but really reach through the fingers as you pull back through the hips. You can even walk it to one side. Get a side body stretch. Come back through center. And then walk it to the other side. Come back through center. Shift forward into a plank pose. And now we're going to come into side plank on this side again. If you're modifying, do the bottom knee down version. Because what we're going to do is pick up this top leg, so you need the top leg free. So left arm's reaching up. I'm just going to show with bent legs a bit of a wild thing here. Wherever you're, roll back through center again, as much control as possible. And then other side. Wherever you are, pick up the top foot, bend through the leg, and you're just reaching gently, gently, slowly, slowly to touch the toe down. Maybe lift up the hips just a little bit. Slowly pick up that foot as you unravel with as much control as possible. Lower to the knees. Child's pose, give the arms a little rest. As I always say, if your wrists need a little bit of love, then maybe you forego child's and you come up and do some little wrist rolls. Let's shift forward into plank again. Pick up the knees, roll onto the right arm, side plank on this side again. Same thing, we'll just pick up that top foot and gently, gently step it behind us. Coming into a bit of a wild thing. And slowly unravel. Use your strength here to make that back foot weightless as it lifts up. And actually this time, bring the left knee in towards the chest. And then see if you can step the left foot forward with as much control as possible. Maybe the foot step back there and you have to work your way up. That's totally fine. We're going to work into a little half split here. So come down on the back knee and tuck the foot. Maybe heel toe the front foot in front of you a little bit more. Flex through the foot and just hang out here. Try to melt our rib cage down to our thigh first. Maybe our chest to our knee. Maybe our face towards our shin. Really flex through this front foot. Square up the hips a little bit. Come back up. And now see if you can get the balance. Again, maybe you can, if your blocks are nearby, you can grab your blocks. But we're trying to find our balance and come upright here. Keep flexing through the foot. Push down through that heel and you should feel the posterior chain muscles kind of working there. Inhale the arms up. Identify your right hand, give it a little shake. And we're going to bring that right arm underneath the left as you come into some eagle arms here. Take it slow, balance. Lift your elbows up higher, pull your pinkies away from your face. Slowly unravel, see if you can get your arms all the way up. And then lower back down. Shift forward and tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. And with control like we did before. Push the mat away from you. Bring your knee off to the side so you can pick it up. Step back, shift forward. Chaturanga, cobra, or upward facing dog with the inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's shift forward into a plank on the inhale. Exhale, roll to the other side, side plank. Pick up the top leg, bend, reaching back behind you. That top arm can do whatever it wants. And then starting to unravel, use your strength to slowly pick up the foot and then bring this right knee in towards your chest. With control, see if you can step that foot to the top of the mat. Lower down on the left knee and tuck the toes. Shift the hips back, straightening through the front leg. Flex through the foot for a half split on this side. Square up the hips. And then working first towards getting the rib cage down towards the thighs. Secondly, the chest towards the knee. Lastly, the face a little bit closer to the shin. Starting to bring your torso upright. See if you can find your balance slowly. Pushing down through that heel as you keep flexing through the foot. Come upright. Once you're there, inhale the arms up. Identify the left arm, give it a little shake. And then we're going to wrap it underneath the right. Cross and twist as much as you can, maybe getting the palms to touch, but maybe not in that spine as well. Wherever you are, lift the elbows up. Pull the pinkies away from the face. Slowly unravel, gently folding forward, shifting the hips forward, tucking the back toes, lifting the back knee. You can shorten your stance a little bit if it was a little bit extended. Mine was on the other side. And then framing the front foot, lowering the knee off to the side of it, push the mat away from you so you can pick up the foot, step it back, shift forward, chaturanga, inhale, up for facing dog or cobra, exhale. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, shift forward into plank. Pull your right knee towards your chest. Hold it, hold it, hold it. We're going to lower that shin so it hovers just above the mat. And then lift up. Lower. And then lift the knee up. 3, 4, 5. Hold it at the top here. And then slowly lower the knee down. We're getting set up for pigeon here. So you can keep the heel in close to the leg. Or or you can heel toe your foot out so that your shin becomes more parallel with the top of the mat. And tuck the back toes. Straighten that leg, look behind you. It should be straight back behind you. You should be right on the top of your foot. See if you're kind of sickling anywhere through the ankle. And then once we're here, square up the hips. So you might come out of your depth a little bit as you pull your left hip forward, right hip back. This is with my right leg forward. So right leg forward means left hip gets pulled forward, right hip gets pulled back. From here, see if you can come more upright. Again, if you're levitating, that's fine. We're going to be using strength here. And then lift up through the hands. Reach them overhead, interlock all 10 fingers, reaching the palms up towards the ceiling. Release through the hands, bring the arms through to cactus. See if you can hinge forward. Start with a little bit of range of motion because this can be intense. If that felt okay, next round maybe go a little bit deeper. Come back up. Keep squaring up the hips, left hip forward, right hip back. Come down again. Back up. One more time. Lower. All the way back up. Release the arms. Now we can sink into it a little bit. Still square up the hips a smidgen, just not as much as we were. You can stack the fists, rest the forehead on the fists. If the belly's really collapsing here, suck your belly button into your spine just a little bit. I like to give myself a little forehead massage wherever I am. See if you can unclench the jaw a little bit. Breathe a little bit deeper. Breathe into the hip. There's a lot of intensity for you. Slowly start to come out of it. Come to frame. The front knee. We're going to tuck the back toe. Keep the spine, the lower back strong and engaged here, so we're not going to collapse in here. We're in a little bit more of a straight line. We're going to push through the hands. Lift the knee, but keep the knife edge of this left foot down. You might know where we're going. We're going to then extend the right leg through. Lift the left arm up, coming into a fallen triangle here. You can make it as small or as exaggerated as you want. Do what you please with this top left arm. Slowly start to unravel. Come to plant the left hand down. Slide this left foot back through. So we're here again. And then bring the right leg up. Three-legged dog. Hang out here. And then slowly lower. This right leg down to meet the left. Shift forward into plank as we pull our left knee towards our chest for the other side. Lower the shin down so it just hovers, and then lift up for 1. Lower. 2, lower, 3, lower, 4, lower, 5, hold it, and then slowly lower the knee in between the hands, getting set up for pigeon on the other side. Keep the shin where it is, or heel toe of the foot, so the shin is more parallel. Find a bit of your depth, look behind you, legs should be straight. Notice if the ankle is siggling at all. Once you're here, we're going to square up. So you'll see when I square up, when I pull my left hip back, my right hip forward, I lift up quite a bit. That's what we want. Hanging out here. Keep the engagement. See if you can make your hands weightless and lift the arms all the way up again. This time, interlock all 10 fingers, release the pointer fingers, look up. You can stay right here, or keeping the core really engaged, really squaring up the hips, you can start to look back, reach back. Slowly unravel. Plant the hands down. And now you can find some depth. Once you're at your depth, square up the hips just a little bit, not as much as before. So you can see I don't lift up as much. Excuse me. Coming down to the forearms, opposite fist on top. Press the floor there. Hanging out. Breathing deeply. Relaxing the jaw. Sucking the belly button in towards the spine. Slowly start to bring yourself more upright. We're going to come out of this one. Oh, actually, no, I still want to do the fall triangle. Okay, so frame the front knee, tuck the back toes, keep your core strong and engaged. Push through the hands. As you lift the front knee up, the knife edge of the foot stays in contact with the mat. Slide it through as the right hand lifts up and reaches over, fallen triangle. Slowly start to unravel. We're just going to come back to our pigeon position here. It doesn't have to be perfect because then we're just going to swing this right leg in front of us. We're going to do a quick hip mobility before we wrap up class here. So we're going to come to sit in a 90-90 position. So what that means is this front leg, the femurs coming straight out in front of you, leg is bent at a 90-degree angle. Your right femur, for me this is my right femur, is coming out directly to the side, leg is bent at a 90-degree angle, feet are flexed for both legs. Now you can start this by hinging forward towards this left knee. This will make it easier. What we're going to do is just pick up this back foot, lift, and slowly lower, lift, and slowly lower. We're working into the glute med, so you can even put your hand there and feel the muscle that's working when you lift it up. If this feels really easy for you, start coming a little more upright. Try to glue this back hip down as you lift the foot, and you should really feel that. And again, you're just progressively working up a little bit more upright. Glue the hip down as you lift the heel, lower, lift, lower. Lift, hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower that back foot down. Sit back on your hip a little bit. And we're just going to lift both knees up and switch to the other side. So readjust if you need to a little bit. 90-90, flex through the feet. Start by hinging over the front right knee for me. Pick up the left foot. Try to glue this hip down. You can feel the muscle. And if that's too easy, come a little more upright. sometimes I kind of have to just make micro adjustments through my hips to feel it even more. Keep lifting and lowering. For a couple more. We are going a little bit longer on this side. Next lift, hold it. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower it. Shift back on your hips again. Bring the legs through and just windshield wiper back and forth. Just checking how I'm doing for time. All right, let's come to lay on our backs. Bring both of the soles of the feet up off the mat and bring to reach the legs up into the air. Point through the toes here. Really point. Point as hard as you can. Keep that point and just flex through the toes. This is the demi point here. Flexing through the toes, trying to fan the toes wide, and then point again. Point. And keep the point through the ankle and just flex through the toes, fan the toes out. Again, point a little bit harder, point. Release the toes, and now flex through the ankles. Flex. Feeling that in the backs of the legs, the calves there. Come to point again. And we're going to separate the feet and come into a reclined straddle. If your toes start to cramp when you point, because mine do a lot, that's when you release the toes. And that'll, well, again, for me it works anyways. It really gets rid of the toe cramp. So my toes started cramping there, so I'm going to keep them flexed. So separating through the legs, so we're in this reclined straddle. If you want a little bit more, you can bring your hands to the inner thighs and push down with your hands as you push up with your legs, so that opposing force there. Push the legs a little bit stronger into the hands, and then let your legs start to win the battle. Keep pulling apart with your hands. Bring the feet together. And then lower down. You can even bring your hands to the outside and resist it here. Let the legs come as wide as possible. And then maybe bring your hands back to the inner thighs. Push it down with your hands as you push it up with your legs. Squeeze. And then let your legs start to win. Squeezing together as you keep pulling out with your arms. And then lower again. Bringing some resistance on the outside of the legs if you'd like. And then release the hands, just hang out here. You can rock back and forth or find stillness. Really pushing the low back into the mat. We want every vertebrae down in contact with the mat. Keep hanging out here. Picture little sandbags being placed on your ankles and your legs getting a little bit heavier. You can use your hands also. Just do it very, very gently. You don't need a lot. And then start to resist your hands again. Start using that strength of the abductors, those inner thigh muscles. And then let your legs win, even if they're barely winning. I feel like mine are barely winning right now, but just do your best. Bring them back up, and then bend through the legs. Trying to keep your lower back in contact with the mat, hug the knees in towards your chest. You can lift up, grab for opposite elbows, and then try to lower down, tuck the chin in a little bit. Again, from the very base of our skull down to our lower back, trying to get as many vertebrae in contact with the mat as possible. Really hug the knees in and take big belly breaths here. Slow your breath, maybe close out your eyes. We're going to release and just come to an extended, like legs straight, arms overhead position. So you can take a gentle way to get there, or if you want a little bit of a challenge, kind of get some core work, you can lift your head and your shoulders up off the mat. And then slowly start to extend the legs out as you reach the arms overhead. Push your lower back into the mat. When your lower back starts to lift, that's maybe when you lower your feet. But see if you can extend into a hollow body shape, and then gently lower everything down. Take a big good morning stretch here. Let's bend at the legs, lift through the hips. Bring the arms up to the side, and we're just going to reach one arm off to the other side. You can roll up on the shoulder, maybe get a little bit of a delt massage, and then the other side. Just gentle twisting here and keep the hips lifted. Do each side one more time. Lower the hips. Pick up the feet again. We're just going to rock and roll here. So backwards and forwards a couple times. Rolling on the spine. Have fun with it. Be playful with it. Do it one or two more times. And then see if you can roll through onto your feet without using your hands. Of course, if you have to use your hands, it's totally fine. It's just something fun to play around with. From here, just lower back onto your bum. And we're just going to come to a comfortable seated position. Bring the tops of your hands in contact with the mat on either side of you. And just push down there. Fingers can be wide. Slowly turn them into fists. Again, just move slow. Maybe shift back and forth. Stretching it out this way. If you don't feel it much there, or you don't really like this one, you can interlock the knuckles, hands and fists, and bring them in front of you. And start to straighten the arms here. This one's a little bit more intense, so maybe you prefer the other one. Once you've had a good stretch there, release. We're going to take our 3 final breaths together. So however you're seated, bring your wrists to rest on your knees. Palms facing up, point your fingers and thumbs gently touch. Let's inhale through the nose. Completely fill the lungs. And then exhale through the mouth. Push everything out. Again, inhale. Your entire body expands. You're taking in so much air. And then exhale through the mouth. Feel everything condense and shrink. Last round, inhale. Exhale. keeping the eyes closed or looking down on the mat 2 or 3 feet in front of you. Bring your hands through to heart center, pushing your thumbs against your chest, maybe feeling your heart beat. We didn't do a Shavasana today. I know it's sacrilegious in the yoga world. But just take a moment here to breathe. Express gratitude for someone or something, maybe even just your heartbeat. And in closing, we say,